Hello one, hello all, it's the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh. It's time for a review of Natalia Lafourcade-De, todas, flores. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Natalia Lafourcade is a Mexican singer-songwriter, and this is her 11th studio album. And she has a killer streak in the late 2010s, with one great LP after the next, from Musas 2 to Encanto. Her last few projects I wasn't too crazy about. I did feel like they were kind of measured. I did feel like they were a little bland. And not really much of a satisfying listen. However, on here, we get 12 tracks, and this is definitely a satisfying listen with something going a little more darker, a little more spicier this time around. And just at times it's super grim, hauntingly beautiful, or it's sometimes just lavish and beautiful, but we'll get into that. Like the track Muerte, which is very hauntingly beautiful. This time there's elements of chamber jazz, samba jazz, and the album opens up with Vene solita, and the album just brings me into like this eerie, beautiful setting with these beautiful set of strings, and I feel like it's bringing me into like this haunted mansion, this room of like this haunted mansion, and the camera's panning to like this dark room, and the setting is like black, and we smoothly transition into Natalia's captivating vocals, and they're just so pure, they're full, they're wondrous, and the acoustics are like so prominent here. Like you could hear every instrument, even the upright bass, you could hear that shit too. And then we get like the very dark dance with danger type cut, and it's just ascending ghostly, and of course I'm talking about the title track. And it's just bringing me to like this realm of like spirits, and we're dancing, and I'm about to have a showdown with my longtime nemesis from a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's basically how this feels. And the instrumentation kind of reminds me of something off of Tom Waits' Rain Dogs, and Pasan días just gives me, like, we just get a very raw performance here, and her voice just intimately like intertwines with the guitar, and her voice just wraps me up in a spiral and just takes me somewhere as the strums of the guitar just put me in a place of serenity. And the progression of the guitar, the pianos, and her soaring vocals, and the hand percussion, again, just to send me to another paradise. And there is another cut on here. Probably the only cut I don't really care for is Llévame, viento. And again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the language here, I don't mean to, but the percussion's nice. It's a nice blend of piano and acoustic guitar, dreamy horns with this nice linear groove. I just wish the track would have progressed more, like vocally, or had more going on with it. El lugar, correcto has this rich and luxurious orchestration going on. Natalia's vocals are like so endearing here and warm. It's like I'm in this fantasy of like a vacation in a beautiful lounge on an island. And honestly, I get the same vibe from Camino Bonito. Both stellar cuts in the same pocket. And I feel like this is one of those moments where you could have two tracks that scratch like the same itch, have that similar tangibility, but have like subtle sonic variations to make it not pale in comparison. Excellent work here. Pajarito, colibrí goes in a very tender direction. This track is almost like a lullaby about the liberation of like a hummingbird, encouraging it to enjoy life and keep traveling even if times get like dizzying, just like keep going. And maybe there's a metaphor, I don't really know if she's talking about like a bird, like literally, but it's very sweet, very beautiful, it's very moving, and the vocals and the pianos are just mesmerizing and tangible. Also, I feel like the bass and strings just like give it that really emotional push and depth that it needs. Maria la Corianda. Yeah, I'm not batting 1,000 with these pronunciation. I'm sorry. Again, I suck. Once again, bringing like very ominous, hot vibe and like the lumbering groove and the appearances of like the sultry piano and guitar and the way the horns come in and out. And when it does, like I feel like I'm like in a movie and I feel like I'm being watched. But when the spurts of instrumentation, it like symbolize like my mind just playing tricks on me. And I just want to investigate. And I'm just like so spellbound by the instrumentation and groove and vocals. Manera de Quere, we definitely get like another hot, sexy number here. And then we got Muerte, which opens up with a very chilling, passionate spoken word passage. And the horns here and the pianos just bring the fire here. And the dancing upright bass and the screams in the background just really add to the raw intensity here. And the track, the sentiment is very compelling too, with the topic of death and acceptance and just living life to your fullest. Canta la Arena is a brighter change of pace here. Certainly a more jazzy, jovial side here. Kind of reminds me of like her earlier work. Well, not earlier work, but like Encanto and Musas too. The horn embellishments are fantastic. Some beautiful guitar riffs, and it's just bliss. It's just bliss of a fiesta that I'd forever return to. And yeah, overall, I love this album. Fantastic album. And Natalia's vocals are very rich here, very raw, very intimate with the immaculate instrumentation. It definitely took a different turn in opposed to her other projects. And yeah, I don't really have too much complaints except for maybe a little more progression on the other tracks, but I am feeling a 4.5 out of 5 Black Hearts on this album. Loved it. Probably going to end up in my top 10 or top 15 of the year. If you've checked this out, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What should I review next? And that's it. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, Natalia Lafourcade. Till we meet again.